So hey guys, it's Brad with Garden Evolution. I am a Northeast Ohio gardener here in Zone 6B for any of the new subscribers that are here. Today I'm getting into a rather exciting project for me because I just got a couple trees in from fastgrowingtrees.com. I am stumbling over my words today, so forgive me here. It's really actually nice right now. We're getting some rain this week, which is perfect. We've had 2 rains in the last about a week and a half. So I have one tree I need to move, and I'm going to get that planted. It's not fully dormant yet. It hasn't fully lost its leaves, but I'll show you that one here in a minute and then where we're going to put it. And then I got 4 new trees in, one of them being an evergreen, so it's kind of a gamble planting so late, but as long as we're getting the rain, it should root in well. It should be perfectly fine. And then the other ones are already going dormant as well, so they should be perfectly fine going in. I am a little concerned now because I did check our 45-day, and it does look like we're going to possibly get a little bit of snow, but we're still getting into like the 40s and 50s during the day. So I'm not, I guess, terribly concerned. They should be perfectly fine, but the ground's workable. They're still able to root in. The ground's not really, really cold. In fact, I have a soil thermometer. I should probably stick it in the ground and see what we have, and maybe I can insert a clip here if I remember to do that and see what we're ranging at. But let's go up front. Let's get the one tree dug out and get it moved, and then talk about the stuff that's going into their places. All right, so right here at the corner of our driveway is a tree that I planted that I saw at the Cleveland Botanical Garden that I absolutely fell in love with, a very mature specimen, and this is Carpinus japonica, which is Japanese hornbeam. It has these really beautiful crinkly leaves on it. It so far has not got the best fall color, and that may be because the situation it's in. It's rather dry here, and though they can handle drought, it's just not done the best. The deer have also nipped on this a bit, and frankly, after getting some other trees in the ground around this area, I realized I really wanted a evergreen more here. That way that we could kind of see the corner, because Rob's really bad about backing up. So if he's watching this, he just heard that. I can whip around this corner. He is grandpa stage. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna dig this guy up. It's almost fully dormant, and I'm gonna place this in the backyard. And I can't wait for this to get bigger, because I can imagine its little seed pods, which almost resemble hops, dangling down over by the pathway, going out to the backyard from the patio. And it's really got a beautiful trunk as well. It gets some patterning on it. The growth on it also, like new growth, has like this cinnamon red color. So it's got a lot of interest to it. It's just not in the best spot. Now, I will swing the camera around here and show you. Right here next to it, flagpole, obviously, but we also have the Brecken's Brown Beauty Southern Magnolia. So when you're visually looking at the house, you'll have evergreen, columnar blue spruce, you'll have the magnolia, you'll also have what is now left of the butterfly jade ginkgo, and then right here, I'm gonna show you the plant that I'm going to be replacing it with. All right, so here is the bad boy that's going to be replacing it. I'm just gonna set it down here. This is Chamaecyparis, make sure I get this right. Oh, sorry, Cryptomeria Radicans Japanese cedar. I really, really love this foliage on this plant. It's going to get a bit large. It'll get about 30 to 40 foot tall, I believe, and about 15 foot wide. So when I go to plant this, I'm actually gonna plant it right about in this vicinity, just because I want to allow that extra area and I don't want to have to do any trimming. They do take to trimming pretty well. It's a really good plant for the southern states to use for hedging, but I really love this. It's a zone 6 through, I believe, 9. So it's kind of a gamble placing it, but I think this is gonna look really, really good. So more imagine it in line here with the corner, and then right about here where will be the center point on it. And if you can see it, that little bit of geranium is actually where it's gonna probably end up at. So let's go ahead and get to digging out our hornbeam, and we'll get this planted, and then I'll show you where the hornbeam will go. Kind of hard to tell, but boy, does that look so good there. I can't wait till it gets larger. It's supposed to be pretty fast growing, about 3 to 5 foot per year. So this is going to be a great tree right here at the corner to decorate for Christmas. Wrap it up in lights all the way, you know. As it gets tall, we're going to definitely need some bigger ladders, but that's going to look so good. So let's go get the hornbeam into its new home. As you can see, we have more trees right here to plant. Come over here. All right, well, I told you to come down here, and I went and grabbed a Coke because I'm thirsty. But this is where the tree's gonna go. There's a few plants that are in this area as of right now, and I'm gonna dig them out in the spring. I have 2 of these. I already cut one back. It's directly right here. This is Andropogon. Holy smokes. Now, I actually really liked this plant in this area. The problem is it's too shady for it, and it tends to just flop, and it doesn't really actually do well in this spot. Behind me, I have Northwind's Panicum. To the right of me, I have Cheyenne Sky Panicum, so, you know, differing height and form. We have some Japanese iris. This is a orange flowering variety. I will throw the name up on the screen if I remember. And then I have these 2 Pennisedums. Now this is Pennisedum Redhead, I believe, or Ginger Love. I acquired these 2 plants from Monrovia when I was at Cultivate 2 years ago. And frankly, I am done with Pennisedums. They just reseed everywhere. I'm really hesitant to give these 2 up just because I really love the form and texture here. And they're handling the part sun. It's full sun, but it's majority part sun of the day. It will get hit by afternoon. So they've been handling it. So I got to figure out something to put in this place. I'm either looking at a muley grass. Sorry if this wind's picking up on you. All right, so I'm either looking at a muley grass, or I'm looking at possibly just putting in the black Pennisedum because it doesn't reseed, it's not hardy here. So roughly about a $10 to $15, maybe $20, depending on how much the garden centers are charging for the year. Replacement yearly might happen, we'll see. For right now, they're gonna stay. I know I should be taking them out and burning them though. So if you're having problems with reseeding, don't feel bad, just get rid of them. There are plenty of amazing alternatives out there, and we'll eventually maybe cover that in a separate video, but this is about trees. Let's get to it. Here's the hornbeam. It's going to go right here, and I cannot wait to have this. I believe this one gets about 20, 25 foot tall and wide, so it will take over this area and shade out quite a bit of stuff in time. They're not particularly a fast growing tree, so I don't have any high hopes for that anytime soon, so we'll be able to keep the planting as is. So this guy is going to live happily back here, and I'm excited for it because, like Japanese maples, this type of hornbeam does get some amazing form to it in the branch structure as well. So it'll be interesting pretty much all year. I really loved, I love the foliage on this. I love the leaves on it. They're fresh, they're interesting, they're textural. So if you're looking for a really cool tree, I would definitely look into getting one of these. Love the catkins. I'll be honest, I don't remember seeing the trunk at the Cleveland Botanical Garden, but maybe I need to take a new trip up there, or my friend has a pass. Ooh. My friend has a pass to go there, and maybe she can just snap a picture for me. I'm gonna move this up so it continues its leader. Probably needs a few more clips on this, honestly. I'm using these cheap dollar store clips that I got. They're not bad, but okay. Perfect. Okay. Next tree. All right, so the next tree is a tree I had heard about once, totally forgot about it, and when I was going through their website, I came across it. This is called Parrotia. This is specifically Persian Spire Parrotia. I think I'm saying it right. Forgive me. I'll throw the stats up here on the screen for you. What I thought was so interesting about it, and I'm sorry if the wind's picking up on this, when the leaves come out in the spring, I believe they said, I'll put it up on the screen there for you, but it gets these purple margins on it. I believe the leaves come out purple in the spring, and then in fall it turns all different shades of yellows and oranges and reds and some purples in it, almost like a Fothergilla, which I thought, wow, amazing. The other beautiful thing about this is the bark on it. As the tree gets mature, and it is a slow grower, it will get this beautiful, beautiful trunk coloring on it and peeling bark. It's just amazing. And what I love about it here, and I'll get in on the foliage here a bit. Let's see if I can get this to focus a bit more. So you can see here, it's got these really cute leaves on it. I think they're adorable. And it won't take much to get this planted because they put it in a root trainer, and when it shipped, a lot of it came out. It's still got a good root system on it. I'm just gonna make sure that it gets really watered in. Thankfully, I have our retractable hose here, but where it's going, and I have to keep my hands on it or I'll fall over, it's gonna go right in here. Right here at the corner. This is next to the greenhouse. The greenhouse is to the left of me. To the right of me is our fire pit and then the pond. So if you've watched any of the tours, you'll kind of know the layout of the area. One, I want it to blend into the landscape, bringing our garden into and taking advantage of the borrowed view. But these grow so slow that it's going to be like 10, maybe 15 years before I really even have to start worrying about it. So I'm just gonna hop in here. I'm not gonna dig any of this out right now. The grasses are gonna go. Again, pennisetums, having problems with reseeding everywhere, and I'm not dealing with it. Those are gonna come out, and this will go in, and then we'll find a beautiful grass to anchor this corner. So let's get this one planted. Okay, I'm gonna go grab some ties real quick. Okay, so this is what I've been using to tie up trees lately. This is by the brand Velcro. It comes in like this long strap. I ended up getting this, I think secondhand from a yard sale. Could be wrong. I had seen people using this and didn't give it much thought. I like this. It's reusable. It's easy to work with. I just grab a length and you can see how much is here, like a good amount. I just give it a cut and then I wrap it around the tree and it's done. I don't know why I've slept on this for so long, but game changer, I'll tell you that. So if you're in the mood for it, by all means, I will link it down below for you if I can find it on Amazon, and you can purchase it there. I don't have a storefront, so no, it's not an affiliate link. One day I will figure out how to do that. So I'll just leave the hose there to slowly do its thing. I've got one more tree over here that I'm going to get planted, and let's introduce you to that one. All right, so the last one on the agenda for today is this beauty. Look at that red foliage. This is a native tree for us, not an ornamental, but bred to be an ornamental. This is Wildfire Tupelo. This is sour gum, black gum. There's a number of names for this particular tree. It is outstanding when it comes to red foliage. It is very slow growing, very adaptable to many conditions site-wise. It does get tall. This is going to get about, I think this one in particular is 25 to 30 foot tall and equal spread. Again, very slow growing, but it's a legacy tree. These are very long-lived trees. And I wanted a legacy tree here because one thing I don't have in my garden is something that's going to get very large and mature and provide that mature feeling in the garden. And though I enjoy having all the full sun, I have wanted this area to go a bit shaded because of the fire pit area. Even though we may or may not keep the fire pit area as is, I wanted something in the long run to provide more shade in the yard so that I had more options of planting. So with that being said, it's going to go here. As you can see behind me, we have 2 service berries. Now these were picked up 3 years ago when actually we got Marlowe. And these have not done particularly well. The far back one has always looked better than the first one right here, but the first one is putting on a ton of lower growth to compensate for what it's losing, and the one in the back is just kind of doing nothing and kind of just holding on. So I've decided I want to put a new tree here. We're going to plant it. These 2 are eventually going to come out. I want to make sure this comes through for the year first in the spring and does well maybe a year or 2. And then we'll take these out, and I have plans for another evergreen back here. Because what you might be able to see, I don't know if you can or not, is there's a frickin' street light here, and it shines through the entire backyard. And I can't stand that because I feel like I'm on surveillance. And I just want my garden to be a restful place. So I'm going to put this one in the ground, and then I think that's going to be it. There is one more tree. I just haven't decided exactly where it is, so maybe I'll just go on an overview, and in the next video, we'll talk about where I ended up planting it. So let's do this real quick. If you have tags on your trees and you think you're going to forget the name of it, take them, and I wrap them around the bottom of the tree. And over time, as the tree gets older, it's going to pop that off. So this one's perfectly staked the way I want it. It's good to go. Can't wait to see how it grows this spring. All right, well, I'm going to end this video with showing you a tree that's been on my wish list for a few years now. And this is a Chinese fringe tree. I am so excited about this. We do have a native species of fringe tree. Unfortunately, it is very susceptible to emerald ash borer. So the Chinese fringe tree has actually grown up with those issues, and it is less susceptible. The other good thing about this tree in particular is It smells so good in the spring when it blooms. The flowers are amazing. They're like just little, they're almost like the downturned clematis in a sense, but they're smaller and they're just floriferous. So they'll bloom for about, I think, anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. It's rather quick, rather short, but it's absolutely beautiful. It has these round leaves that stay beautiful and glossy and fresh during the year. And then from there, it does turn bright yellow in the fall. It's a good understory tree. It still can go out in full sun if you add some extra moisture to it. It does get very large. They're not slow growing. I'd say that's a moderate growing. I think these get about 20 foot tall and wide, whereas our American fringe tree doesn't get that big. It gets, I think, no more than about 15 foot. But I've wanted the fringe tree. I didn't know I wanted a Chinese fringe tree, way more than our American variety, but this is still a very good alternative to it because the pollinators will still recognize the plant as so and can still use it. I'm so excited that it came in. I have to figure out where I'm planting it now because where I originally was going to plant it, I ended up with a Franklinia tree this season, and that is a really cool plant that we can maybe talk about later on if you're interested, but this now needs to find a home, and I think it's going to replace the dogwood that's over there. I'm going to give the dogwood one more chance. I might pot this on. It is, I believe, hardy enough to sit in a pot over winter, and I will get it planted maybe in the spring unless I decide I'm going to plant it this fall. So really cool trees that came in. I'm really excited to see how they come into their own over the next 10, 15 years. I'm hoping everybody survives winter really, really well. I've got the hoses on them right now in a slow trickle, so they'll get really watered in. We've got rain in the forecast for later this week, and actually it looks to be pretty stable for us here in the Midwest to get rain, which I feel terrible about the East and the West Coast that they're not getting rain, but you know, count your blessings here, I guess. So I will see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you then. Bye.